Hi guys, Andrew Davidson here. Welcome back to another As Per My Ability video. Now in this video, it's just going to be a rambling video. I know I usually like to show off at least one game to talk about so that I can kind of put out a game recommendation. But today's just going to be a rambling video and just kind of what I would say an Andrew Thinks episode or video where I'm just going to kind of ramble. I don't really have a script. I don't really have anything in front of me. Just some stuff that I've been thinking about. I don't like to feel dumb. Do you like to feel dumb? Does anyone like feeling dumb? As I was sitting at work today, I was thinking about this question, about feeling dumb. And it brought me back to the board game world. So for those of you that don't know me, I do play a lot of games. I host a lot of game nights. I buy a lot of games. I teach a lot of games. And as I've been out playing in the community, playing games at coffee shops or bars or like restaurants, people come by and they notice, and they'll, not everyone, but some of them will come by. Hey, oh, what's this? And you'll say, oh, this is Machikoro, whatever we're playing. And the number one response that I get from people, or some facsimile of this kind of response, is, looks too complicated for me. Number one. Or some kind of response like that. Or like, I don't think I'm smart enough to play this. Or it looks too thinky for me. Or some kind of response about, I am too dumb. I feel dumb. I would never be able to figure anything of this out. Well, this happened to me recently. Someone did come by. And by the way, caveat, people have been nice. Some of them just move on, and some of them are like, wow, that looks hella cool, or like, that's really interesting. But they move on. They probably don't go home and search up the game or look about how to play it or what have you. But yet they asked about it. They came over to a group of strangers playing a game and they asked about it. So recently I was playing a game and the exact same thing happened. Someone came over. I actually kind of knew who the person was, and they asked what we were playing. We told them we were playing, and their response was, I couldn't figure it. I don't know what all that is. I could never figure any of that out. And they kind of took off and went on their way. And I turned to one of my players, and I said, it's not that complicated of a game. And he happened to agree with me, and he said, really, once you get the first 2 or 3 things kind of learned down, it takes about 10 minutes. And then you can play the game over and over. You can have hours of fun with these games. If you just kind of like go, you know what? I could probably do this. But what's the number one thing? It's up here. It's not familiar. I've noticed that as a big one. It's not Monopoly. It's not Uno. It's not Scrabble. It's not Risk. It's not Clue. And so it's not familiar, which means they don't know it. They don't. It's not Sorry. It's something bigger and different and weird looking on the table with the cards and maybe the pieces. And sometimes the boards are huge. I couldn't. There's no way I could learn something like this. Why is it that we as human beings are so intrinsically built or subconsciously to just go, I can't do this. I can't learn anything like that. It's way too complicated. Why do we think like this? Why do most people, I should say, in my experience, think like this? When I try to get people into games and I try to invite, hey, we got an extra spot. You should come over. Wendy, you should come over and play with us. Oh, what are you playing? We're playing a game called Great Western Trail. I've never heard of that. I don't know how to play. Just because you've never heard of it and you don't know how to play doesn't mean that you can't play. Doesn't mean that I can't teach you. I'm a fairly experienced teacher. I've been buying and teaching games for at least 10 years. Maybe 8, 9, 10 years, somewhere around there. I've got some experience teaching games. But again, it comes back to that, I don't want to be stupid. Or I don't want to feel stupid, I should say. No one likes to feel stupid. And learning new games can be quite daunting. And even with someone like me, sitting down, holding up the components saying, these are your cards, these are your people, these are objectives that you're trying to do. Even all of that data dump onto them or upload, it's too daunting. When in reality, a lot of games, yeah, they're complicated. But a lot of them are like, if you'd invest 10 minutes, if you would think more about yourself, you could do it. I could show you. I could bring you into this world. We could have so much fun playing this game for the next 2 hours, whatever it may be, if you would just let yourself go. And that's what I was thinking about today. I was thinking about how we deny ourselves opportunities and experiences because we're not familiar with them and we just don't want to feel stupid. We don't want to feel dumb. There's been many a times where I've taught a game and it's okay, everyone got it, any questions? No questions, and we start playing and it gets to Sandy's turn and Sandy just goes blank. And she goes, guys, I don't get it. They don't want to make a wrong move. They don't know what move they can make. They start reaching for something. Can I draw a card? And you're like, yeah, you can draw a card if you want. Do I want to draw a card? And at that point, you're just like, it's whatever strategy you want to do. And so why are we just, what is it about human nature that people just go, I'm dumb? When you talk about yourself, people tend to, I saw a study years ago, that people tend to talk so much more like at length and so much more free about the negative things about themselves than the positive. And I did try that out with a few friends of mine way back, probably about 5 years ago, and say, what are some good things about you? What are some things that you know are bad about, like negative things? And the negative things were really easy for people to talk about. Guaranteed you that you're in a private, safe space or whatever, but they could talk about the fact that they're this, or that they're fat, or that they're dumb, or that they're stupid, or that they're ugly, or things like that. And that all kind of brings into this whole board game world. These games behind me are great. And if you have someone to teach you, there's no reason to feel dumb. There's no reason that us as gamers, as a community, should make people feel dumb, feel stupid. And so, for most of you that kind of know, I like to take some of these ideas and bring them outside of the board game world. So right now we've been talking about games. At least that's what I've been thinking about today. Why don't people approach games more? Why don't you play my game, damn it? Like, come, I will teach you. Sit down. I gotta tend to the baby. Or I should probably play this game. I will teach you. Why do people not do that? And my response today in my brain was, people don't want to feel dumb. They don't want to feel stupid. And so how does this work in our own lives? When you take on a project, tackle a new job, first day on a new job, or a first new project, or doing something new, like maybe a first date. No one wants to feel dumb on a first date, right? No one wants to feel dumb at work on their first day at work. So what is it about board games that we can talk about here when we talk about developing a sense of, you know what, I can jump into the deep end. I can just go, I'll sit down, Andrew, go. I'll learn. And if I make mistakes along the way, it's just a game and I'm going to make mistakes. And I'm just going to try to learn. I have an inquisitive mind and I can do this. That can-do spirit, like pull yourself up from the perches and sit down and play a game with me. Or whomever. Someone will teach you the game. You will learn the game by playing. You will learn through experience. There's kinesthetic learning, which is basically to learn by playing, learn by doing. And so one thing that board games have taught me, and I'm going to wrap this video up, is that when I started playing board games, and the person that I am now, with a YouTube channel, a camera in front of me, in the middle of the night, talking about board games, the person 10 years ago was very much like that. Was very much like, I don't want to feel stupid. I don't want to feel dumb. But through playing games, through jumping into that deep end, which I've done many a times, through going over to some other friend's house where they were teaching me the games, They had a game on the shelf that I was like, oh, that looks good. I've heard things. I want to play that. So we pull it off and, put it on the table. It gets taught to me, and I just go, I have no clue. I feel dumb. But you know what? You get used to it. I don't really know a bigger, better, more eloquent, fancier word than you just get used to it. You swim in the deep end and you learn to tread water. You put yourself out there for those experiences, and those experiences pay off. They pay you back in going, you know what? I can do this. I sat down and played a board game last week. I could learn another game. Last week was fun. Maybe this one will be fun too. And as that sense builds inside of you, you will find yourself going out into the world and having a little bit of that feeling of, I can do this. I don't have to feel stupid. I don't have to feel dumb. I might make mistakes along the way. It's my first day at a job. Sorry, I hit the wrong button for the sales button or something or whatever. But you know what? Games have taught me that that is okay. And that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to feel dumb. What's not okay is to hide yourself and lose on these experiences. And I'm not talking just about board games. I'm talking about just in life. And so when you think about doing something new, please don't feel dumb. You're not. You can do it. You can learn these games. These games will help, be therapeutic, I guess, if that's the right word, for moving on for that big day when you have that big job promotion, or when you go and do something new. You have a first date with someone who might be the person of your dreams. That woman, man or woman, might be the person for the rest of your life. But you're like, you know what? I swim in the deep end. And I know how to swim in the deep end. Because I'm not dumb. I can make mistakes. I can figure it out along the way. Because board games have taught me that. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, goodness gracious, Andrew, you're coming off so heavy right now. I'm not advocating the fact that if you start, everyone needs to go out and start buying a shelf of games so that they can feel more confident about themselves. Not really, but kind of. Games do help people experience new experiences and feel, I'm not dumb. I can do this. I did it before. And games can help with that. There are other things in life that can help with that too, I'm sure. But this is a gaming channel. And that's one thing that I know, that I can guarantee if you stop me on the street, that I would talk about. How has gaming changed your life? I would say I used to be very low self-esteem about myself, about how smart I was, my ability to interpret things. But playing games, after years and years, I sit down today and just go, screw it. Let's do it. Someone teach me how to play. I'm going to do terrible. I'm going to come in last place. I don't even care. I just want to try to learn. You know why? Because I can learn, and you can learn too. And by building that sense in your brain, you can go out in the world and have the same feelings. So games, as I've always said, are didactic. They teach. They teach us to learn more about ourselves. Do you like feeling dumb? Do you like feeling stupid? Well, these games can help. That's just my take on it. So, thanks everyone for watching. I'm Andrew Davidson with As Per My Ability. And as always, I will see you all at the next video.